Hi, I'm Michelle Robinson, and I'm so excited to be here today to talk about the new book, Family Success Triangle by Eric and Lila Wohlwend. You are going to love these guys. I'm so excited to be here with you guys.
It's a pleasure to be here with you, Michelle.
I'm so excited to be with you guys. And you guys have done a lot of really cool things. There's so much to talk about, but I want to talk first. I just want to show everybody your new book and Family Success Triangle. First of all, why did you title it Family Success Triangle?
We have had multiple people ask us to write a book about how we raised our kids. And one of the working titles was, How Did Your Kids Do That? And I realized that I can't really write a book about raising children. It's much more about business. And yet I can't talk about the business unless I talk about raising the children, because everything we do is integrated together. And it just came up to be that we formed a triangle, and our business helped our family grow stronger and grow more together. And then our family helped our business grow.
So now, Lila, what was your part? Whose idea was it to live your life like that? Because that's not your average family, right? Well, average family's not going, let's do business and life and integrate all these things in together. So what was your part in that?
I really wanted to homeschool our children, and so I had to convince Eric why that was a good idea. And after he was on board, it really became second nature to start our kids off learning the same things that we were learning, which was things about investing, things about business. And they grew up hearing these lessons every day. And when they started doing their own investing and doing things that other adults thought were impossible for kids, many other people got interested in how we made that all happen. And so now we are sharing our ideas and what we taught our kids so we can help other families be successful also.
So tell me, because you didn't grow up this way.
I did not.
It's not like somebody taught you these principles, Eric, right? And you seem like you're a dynamic leader, but did you grow up with that kind of education?
I grew up with a very strong leadership from my father.
Oh, well, that's good.
And then was an instructor in the Army.
Oh, well, there you go.
And so there's a lot of leadership there.
Yeah.
Our first book was about leadership, but it was more in your face, do this like this.
More telling people what to do?
A lot more.
Okay.
And Lila really helped to temper me.
Oh, that's good.
And
females can do that.
we need them.
The softness.
So,
They bring a little softness.
But there's a story in our book, The Family Success Triangle, about how I tried to teach her leadership, and I taught her how to be a drill sergeant. And that did not work at all. It caused a lot of people to quit.
You must have a strong personality to be able to have kind of come in and said, okay, I don't really like your teaching style, right? How did that go? How did that go in your marriage when you were like, okay, well, Eric?
We realized early on we have very different personalities.
Wow.
He thinks about things and looks at things differently than I do. And we realized that could either force us apart or it could make us that much stronger, because my strengths were his weaknesses and his strengths were my weaknesses. And so together as a team, we are actually that much better having each other. And it helped in raising our kids. It helped in creating our business. So we've just learned to work together and use our strengths.
Now, did you get to a point in your marriage where it came to that? Or was it just, you know what, we need to figure this out because we're both so different.
It was a conscious decision from the beginning.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
When we first started, she still had a job. I had lost 3 jobs in 2 years.
Oh, wow.
And came home and said, good news, I'm a full-time real estate investor. I read all these books. I think I can do this. And what came out of her mouth was, does that mean you lost another job? And I didn't know until we wrote this book how she actually felt about it. I thought she was just like, okay, I'm there. I'm going to support you. That's not at all the way she felt at the time. But
are you like the optimist and you're more the pragmatical, more practical person, or is it
I would
opposite?
call myself absolutely logical, but I always can see how we can make something work.
That's cool.
So if you say I can't do something, well, I'll tell you, you're right. You can't do it, but I'm sure I can.
So you had a few failures before you actually ended up becoming as successful as you are today and writing these books and talking about how to help other people do the same thing. What were some of those, and how did those teach you to do what you're doing today?
I would say that they weren't really failures. I simply learned many ways not to do things.
That's good.
I was an incredibly good employee. I've had a job since I was 11 years old. And then all of a sudden one day I wasn't. And when you think you know more than your boss, it turns out it's not a good idea to tell your boss that you think you know more than them. But we just kind of failed our way. There was no plan. We decided on a couple of basic things. Never go to bed angry. Always talk it out. When we started a business, I said, you don't have to be involved. I did not want to force her into anything.
Yeah.
Just don't ever tell me no. Let me do what I do. And eventually she decided, well, hey, I want to do this.
Oh,
And she started running her own part,
that's very cool.
which was very helpful because my inability to talk to tenants, we have many rentals.
Yeah.
And well, I can control the contractors and I can buy and negotiate and all that
Right.
stuff.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I am terrible talking to tenants.
Complainer.
And
people complaining or
she
whatever.
and the way she's trained her staff, just unbelievable. They can talk a tenant off a cliff and make them feel so good about whatever the problem was they called about.
That's really important. That's
So
great.
Customer service is
Communication.
incredibly important.
Oh, caring, and I actually, empathy, not just actually just
Shut up and
customer
do it.
service, but actually empathetic service, right? Well, that's awesome. So, Lila, did you grow up in a family that taught you these things, or were these just things that you said, I'm going to adapt into my family now?
Yeah, my family taught me that you need to go to school, get a good job, invest in your 401k and work for the same
Traditional.
company till
Yeah.
you can retire. But that wasn't the world that I saw. What my parents believed was useful in the world, I did not see as useful. So while I played the school game very well, I could memorize, regurgitate, pass a test, get A's. That wasn't helpful to me. What I learned was how to play the game, but it wasn't actually understanding and being able to use what I learned. So when we had children, I wanted to do something completely different with them so that they could actually learn and apply the knowledge that they were gaining.
So how has it been supportive-wise in your families? And you're so out of the box when it comes to, I'm sure, friends. So how does that work? Do you find yourself being leaders to all these different people and really encouraging them and helping them as well? And I'm sure at first it was a little bit challenging.
every day that my kid's been alive, I have told him when he went to bed at night, both of them now, that I love you and I want you to dream about making the world a better place.
I love that.
And that is how I approach, just like I asked her not to say no to me. When somebody offers us an incredible opportunity, we do our best to just go with it and see where it takes us. So there is a plan to do more. Overall, I do want to make the world a better place. And I have no idea where I will be next year. I'm just following the path set out in front of me
I love that.
and saying yes every time I can.
I love that. Now, you guys, well, I want to talk about the book. But before we do, you were both pre-med, right?
Correct.
And you were going to go to medical school. And then your whole path totally changed. And do you find that a lot of your faith encouraged those different steps that you took and got you to where you're at now? Or what exactly made you move from pre-med to real estate to military, all the different things you've done? You have such a varied background.
There's even a story in the book, and you can believe whatever you want to believe, but I say God or the Great Spirit or whatever you believe in was trying to give me a message, and I was too stupid to understand. And I had to get knocked down 3 times. I had to lose 3 different jobs in 3 totally different ways before I finally realized that maybe my path is not working for a company and climbing a ladder. Maybe I'm supposed to build the ladder for other people to climb.
That's awesome. So what are some of the suggestions? Again, family success triangle. I love that. And I love that. Is this you guys' family actually on the cover?
That is
It
not.
looks like it.
It does. They got
does.
pretty good with that picture.
Yeah. So they have one. Yeah. Yeah. So.
Especially since we were just at the beach last week.
Oh, well, nice, nice. Well, tell us a little bit about the book What made you want to write a book, and what are some of the things people can take away from this?
When Lila talked about homeschooling, she says she got me to go along with it. I never had anything against it. I just didn't understand. And I realized that I can't in good conscience send my kids to go to school where they're told to sit down, be quiet, memorize stuff, just like she learned. Half the time when I was in school, I was a good enough student, but I learned how to integrate. I learned how to learn something here and apply it over there. I saw the huge advantage. So I got a job running squads. I was a medic for 13 years. And I knew that would make me a far better doctor than just memorizing things. So how could I send my children to school? I needed them to learn by doing, to understand that when you make a mistake, that's not a failure. It's just another way to learn. That is the essence of the entire book.
I love it.
Is how we integrated our life with our business, how we learn by doing, a lot of the mistakes we made, and how that made us stronger in the future.
I love that. And what about you, Lila? What do you feel like is one of the takeaways for people on this book?
My goal was to teach people some of the lessons that really helped us grow and succeed, not only with our business, but with our family. And if they can take those lessons back to their own family and everybody in that family can grow and succeed together, that's what I'm hoping to see.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. And I'm excited. I can't wait to get this book and read through it.
Thank you, Michelle. It's been a pleasure.
Awesome.